9 times out of 10, after an international flight, you're feeling pretty tired, creased, and generally not your best self. 10 hours on a plane will do that to you. Except, of course, if you fly Virgin upper class. You get a totally private, fully flat bed, a choice of personal massages, a 3-course meal, plus a number of other luxuries. Quite abnormally, you land pretty relaxed and refreshed, even happy. This became the basis of the Land Happy campaign. To advertise the route between Johannesburg and London, we drew on the ever-British Mr. Men property, but with a twist to show the transformative power of the Virgin upper class experience. For instance, Mr. Grumpy wasn't himself after flying Virgin upper class. The campaign appeared on a big scale, starting with outdoor, colourfully showing the effects of the private suite. As a 5-part radio serial, each ad written in the same Mr. Men storybook style.
Mr. Grumpy and Mr. Miserable. Mr. Grumpy and Mr. Miserable were seated next to each other at a dinner party, but surprisingly, they weren't getting on very well. "My favourite song is Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now by the Smiths," said Mr. Grumpy. "What's yours?" "I'm too sexy," said Mr. Miserable. "I thought you were supposed to be miserable," said Mr. Grumpy, sounding a little annoyed. "What changed you?"
Land Happy, with a really rather uplifting upper class, only on Virgin Atlantic.
The effects of the flying experience appeared in print, and the characters even appeared as themselves on Facebook. To extend the campaign further, we reproduced classic Mr. Men books with the Land Happy theme, taking the reader along on Mr. Grumble's trip to London. The books formed a strong direct mail property to encourage frequent flyers to upgrade to the upper class suite. After a year of running the campaign, you couldn't get a seat to put a bum in, leaving the airline rather happy.